because I had some questions.
All right, this is Professor Olson taking a look at your week 4 package design work and the discussion. First up is Letitia. Letitia, you said you have a question?
Well, yeah, I just want to hear your critique on
Sure.
if I needed to improve or change or.
All right, so YOLO cookies. You never quite got to a good sort of logo lockup. I guess this is it. It's sort of like a spoon,
Yeah, a spatula.
a spatula with the words. But that bit aside, let's look at the color and how you're using it. So you've got a lot of elements on here. You thought carefully about it. You got the net weight. You've got the nutritional facts. You've got ingredients. You've got recycling symbol. You've got barcode. So you're doing a lot to make it authentic. You've got a pretty good image of cookies, and it seems to be silhouetted quite well. Did you do that yourself in Photoshop?
Yes, yes, sir. Yeah, I did a vector mask of it.
Awesome. Great job on that.
Thank you.
All right. Overall, you want to think a little bit about hierarchy. And
Okay.
when we talk about hierarchy in design, usually it means like the biggest thing, but in color, it can mean something else. And in your case, you've got a series of colors that are all sort of screaming for attention at the same time.
Okay.
None of them, like you have not manipulated the saturation and brightness. So some of them could be darker, some of them could be lighter, and that would give you a little more hierarchy. So for instance, right here, you know, where your logo is, this blue and this orange are nearly the same value. Like they're different hues, they're quite contrasting in hue, but they're almost the same value. The green is also sort of a darker green. And then when you put the green and the orange here, it just sort of vibrates. This is because what you want to think about is value. So light and dark. Maybe the background gets lighter. You're using these little polka dots and they feel kind of random. They're just sort of scattered throughout. Here, they're a pattern. Pattern is one thing, but then like just throwing a few dots around, I guess the pattern's like really open here.
It is.
It's just sort of cluttering it up. So I would just get rid of that.
Okay.
Let your logo, so the hierarchy, you want your logo to be the star of the show. You've got a great image of cookies. So sort of tying these things together, these are the two things you really want prominent. And the other things are supporting a little bit. So like I would make this either darker or lighter, this orange taste of the homemade baked cookies. I think I'm not going to go too specific here, but I think you get the idea. So change up some of the values so that you get some more hierarchy. When you look at it, you should say, what's the first thing a person's going to see? What are they going to take away when they first see it? Definitely the image of the cookies is your strong, powerful thing. This could be maybe even bigger. It could crop a little bit, and you could have your YOLO Cookies logo really, I like the size of it here. That seems better. It's sort of dominating there. And just try to eliminate some of this extra stuff that's not really helping your brand.
Okay.
This feels like plaid or something, you know, this crosshatch. I feel like you're sort of grasping at like, what do I do? Polka dots, stripes. If in your logo development process, if you had something sort of added to it, like these drips, right? Maybe there are drips, big drips in places, you know, something that relates more to your logo, to your brand. Polka dots and stripes are just generic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you worked out these drips pretty well. Maybe some drips coming down from the top. Maybe there's drips on the top of the box. It looks like it's dripping with chocolate or something. And I would go with a real chocolate. Look how dark the chocolate chips are. So figure out, you got to go back to the drawing board a little bit on your color palette and then figure out those secondary elements to help brand this and give yourself some better hierarchy.
Okay.
All right, Emily's here and Sam. Let's see. Let's zoom out. Sam, you were top of the list here, so I'm just going to go to yours. Sam, this is really good. Great work. I just have a few tweaks that I think would make it a little better. All right. You also have a bit of a contrast problem. Your logo, like this logo type, Black Sea, is disappearing into the background. I would pick a different color for that. Maybe it's the light color from inside the shell, but you'd want that to be the dominant thing. Right now, chocolate is standing out. Now on the front, assorted chocolates and the branding, you see it's disappearing. You kind of want to invert that hierarchy. You want it to be Black Sea chocolate, and then what is it? It's assorted chocolates. You see what I'm saying? Like there's a different voice.
Okay, yeah, I can switch that up.
Yeah. Like this is like saying Destiny's Child with Beyonce. You want it to be reversed. Beyonce's the star. I love this little treat yourself on the top. The pattern here is really nice. One slight criticism, it could be smaller, scaled down so that there's more of it, a little more texture. You did the assembly really well. You have an awesome photo. This dark background and the chocolate sort of fading into the background is a really great design decision. You've got these cascading elements here. It's just really good. You've got all the stuff you need. So you're on your way. Now, for this assignment, you're supposed to have 3 designs, 3 options. I'm assuming you have 2 other options you're just not showing.
No, I have not worked on it yet. I'm not really sure where to go with it. I'm not sure if I should do a light theme as well as a dark theme, or...
Yes, why not? I mean, this is how you can look at it. You got it in the bank. You know, this is good, right? So experiment as much as you want. Like, just go crazy, you know? You have no fear of failure at this moment. And so just get the most out of it by trying some really different things with it.
Okay.
You may surprise yourself. All right. Emily. Emily, what was your brand? Oh, here it is. Oh, nice. Emily, this is a beautiful composite. You've done a great job pulling this brand together. Your logo works really well. The textured pattern on this works really nicely. You've got 3 options. Once you got this worked out, making the composite was a lot of fun, wasn't it?
Yes, I enjoyed it a lot.
Well, you've done a great job pulling this together. Even this window is done so well. It's got a bit of an inner shadow, so it really feels like a window. I don't know where you got that from. It got the little reflection on there.
I made it.
That's awesome. That's what I wanted to hear. Yes. Fair trade, USDA. So awesome work. All 3 of these are good. Whichever one you pick, I would put all 3. I would add pages to your presentation, put all 3 in.
Okay. Cool.
Very nice.
Thank you.
So this has been a great process for you because I know you struggled a little bit through it, but then it's come out well.
Yay.
All right, Umberto, Bluebell's chocolates. You're making some progress. I would say that. Your package design is missing a few sort of key elements. So I would add a photo since it's chocolate and blueberries. It would probably, you could probably find some nice fruit dipped chocolate to use as an image, right? I'm not a fan of your logo, but we're kind of past that at this point. You also have a contrast problem. So you're using basically blue and red, and you've got some light versions of the blue. Look at it here, it just disappears, the word chocolate over the light blue. You need to think about how the contrast is working to help you. Nutritional facts will always have to have a white background. That's just how they work. And I would put it on the back of the box instead of the side. See, you got it in the side that faces front. So now for like a secondary element, it looks like you're using the initials in this script. as a pattern, but it's not really functioning as a pattern because not enough of it is seen on any one panel. It just sort of feels like some random scribbling. So if you were to make a pattern, I would make it tighter and smaller like this so that you can see a lot of it and it feels more like a texture instead of individual shapes. Put a descriptor line. What is this? What is your product? Fruit dipped in chocolate. And you need 3 designs. So keep going. This is good progress from where you were. So Letitia, we went through. All right, Abigail, Olympic coffee. This is pretty good. Now this pattern, I'm not quite sure what it is. It looks interesting, but I would make it scale it down so it's much tighter. And then probably not both here and here. The way these flaps lay down perpendicular to this, you have the same pattern on 2 things next to each other that is going diagonally. So it won't work. So switch up one or the other with not the pattern. The use of color is really limited. You've got your assigned yellow and blue. I wish there were more players there to sort of help it along. You've got a lot of the key elements. So I just think you need to think through your branding a little better. I know in the cup you have sort of a Greek key kind of thing. Maybe that could become a border pattern. It looks like it would be pretty easy to recreate. This is a coffee cup, maybe? It's hard to tell what this is, this pattern. And it's kind of a blobby ink brush look, which doesn't appear anywhere else. I would tie into your logo more. You could make columns. You could make the Greek key, something like that. And you had other elements in your logo process that were usable as secondary elements. And then instead of just doing some shades of the yellow and this really bright blue, is there another color you could add to the mix to sort of bring it together a little more? Maybe there's a coffee color. Pull this away from the edge, it's way too tight. Think of each panel as its own page. And you don't want to have, you want to have a bit of a margin. It's good over here. This is a little tight, but that's to say you've got 3 designs. You're doing your best to brand it, so you're on your way. So good job there. All right. I believe that it's all. Oh, Kukos chips, Andrea. Yeah, this is a fun package design. Your logo. I'm not a fan of putting it like this, but it works with the type of. The logo has to be really large. I'm sure this doesn't work on a business card, but it works on the package design. You've got a color palette with a lot of light colors, and then you're using black, and the black just jumps out. And it's like, it really kind of is over, too much. So change this black to a dark brown, maybe even a little darker than this brown. And this will bring everything to life, I guarantee you. You could put a picture of chips on the front if you wanted to. These have lime, so I would take this yellowish color and make it greener so it's more limey. And then you need 2 more designs. And consider a composite when you get it all done. I mean, take it to the beach. Take it on vacation. All right. So that is it. I will be back on tomorrow, and tomorrow will be the last time I'll be live with everybody. So I hope everybody comes. I know it's hard with people's schedules, but that's it. I'll see you guys tomorrow.